Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Remember, just on February 22nd, Pam Bondi said that she's going to reveal Jeffrey Epstein's client list is sitting on my desk to review. That's what she said. That was on February 22nd, 2025. Just a couple of days ago. By the way, they call it a client list. Is it really fair to call it a client list when there's only one client and that client is named Israel?
Huh.
You mean the blackmail list Epstein had on behalf of his client being Israel. You mean that's on Pam's desk? Is that what you mean? That's Pam Bondi before she had the special talk, if you know what I'm talking about. And then here we are, February 27th, Jeffrey Epstein contact list. AG Pam Bondi releases highly anticipated Department of Justice documents. It seems like it was just February 27th when all of them stood out front and said they were going to reveal everything to us. But of course, hey, it's Hasbro Class 25. Anyway, breaking, instead of releasing all the Epstein files to the public at once, the Trump White House selectively handed phase 1 to a curated group of right-wing friendly influencers, libs of TikTok, Colin Rugg, DC Drano, Chernovich, and Jack Prosobiec. Really? Really? Okay. And here we go. Let's watch this. There they are. Okay, first of all, you're holding up a list of people who have destroyed countless children's lives. That's not where the smile goes. When a comedian tells you that, you should listen. Hey, look at a terrible idea that the Trump administration should be mocked for relentlessly. To hand out redacted files to a handful of... What they should have done was made the Epstein, whatever they were releasing, make it available at the Department of Justice website as a PDF so everybody can download it. That's what they should have done. But of course, the reason why they're doing... Well, you want to see what they really... this is a complete clown show. It is. So you want to see what they really what they released? This is what they released. Here it is.
Oh, that's helpful.
This is what they released. That's what they released. This is what they released. Hey, didn't the Hardy Boys have some kind of kid detective trick where they would rub lemon juice all over it and the original writing would shine through? Have you thought of trying that?
Let's see, what time is it? Okay, you can talk time with this thing on.
That's what they released. Do you see what they released?
Okay, sorry.
Nothing. So it's not just follow the money, it's follow the magic marker. So that's what they released. Which is actually less than what was already publicly available. What they handed those right-wing influencers was actually less than what's already publicly available. Yeah, I'm not... So, can't make this up. The GOP House Judiciary Committee, watch this, led by Jim Jordan, just rickrolled their voters by posting a link to the alleged Epstein files with a URL that led to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. They got rickrolled. You think I'm kidding? Watch this. So if you click on that, where does it redirect to? There it is. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna... The Justice Department released a new batch of Jeffrey Epstein files after Attorney General Pam Bondi said she was reviewing classified documents in the case, but it's not the client list. Again, there's only one client. What the one client was Israel, and maybe you could say the one client was Jeffrey Epstein, and he invited everybody to the parties. They didn't pay money. It was free. It was a blackmail session. It was to get compromat on them. So the Department of Justice is following through on President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil on the disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators, Attorney General Pam Bondi. So no, you're not. And why are we never going to actually find out anything important? Because of Israel. Because it would all. Why we're never going to see the JFK files. We're never going to see the RFK file, and we're never going to, because it all points back to Israel. And who controls our government? AIPAC, the Israel lobby. This is only news to children. Wow. Okay, we'll keep going. Many of the documents were already released during Ghislaine Maxwell's federal criminal trial, which landed her in prison for decades. They include flight logs, an evidence list, a contact book, and a redacted masseuse list believed to refer to Epstein's victims. So this was already out there. Many people named in the documents have never been accused of Epstein-related wrongdoing. However, some have, like Maxwell Prince Andrew, who has denied allegations of wrongdoing, and Jean-Luc Brunel, a French modeling agent who, like Epstein, died in jail awaiting trial. Oh, chagrin. Darn the luck. Darn the luck. Liz Wheeler, who was seen leaving the White House, went live on Twitter later in the day to describe the binder and flip through its content. She said that while people are looking for new information related to the Epstein case, that's not what's in the folder. Yeah. Most of the pages that Wheeler showed were on Epstein's address book, which has long been public, with addresses redacted. So you're being yanked right now by the Pam Bondi and the Trump administration. You're being yanked. Hey, Epstein files. AG Pam Bondi sends letter to Kash Patel accusing the FBI of withholding docs. That's from February 27th of this year. That's just the other day. Wow. What a shameful embarrassment to the Trump administration. I hope someone's getting fired. Can you believe this bullshit? Is it an exciting time to be alive when we finally learn something that we've already known for years? Dave Smith says, I'm starting to think that handing the Mossad pedophiles to a bunch of Zionists might not be the best way to get the truth to the public. Yeah. Okay. What a mystery. Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli intelligence asset. The evidence, Epstein, he was a Mossad. No shit, his last name is Epstein. What a mystery. I wonder who the Zionist human trafficker who hangs out with the daughter of a Zionist scumbag works for. Probably Iran, my guess. So here's, this guy, Adam Media, did a great, here's the proof. Former Israeli intelligence officer Ari Ben Menashe said Epstein ran a Mossad honeypot operation after being recruited by Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, was a Mossad spy. Maxwell's business partner was Charles Bronfman, a co-founder of the Mega Group. The Mega Group is an exclusive club of Jewish billionaires funding pro-Israeli causes. Maria Farmer, the first victim to report Epstein, said his entire network was run by Jewish supremacists who racially abused her, and that the operation was led by the Mega Group. One of its co-founders, Victoria's Secret owner Les Wexner, gave Epstein his $77 million Manhattan townhouse, used as the hub of his blackmail ring. Epstein got his job at Bear Stearns in 1970 through Alan Greenberg, a Mega Group member, despite having no background beyond teaching. Okay, you're starting to catch on? Mega Group member Ronald Lauder is president of the World Jewish Congress and a major donor to Netanyahu's Likud party. Epstein's lawyer and longtime friend Alan Dershowitz is a staunch Zionist, author of The Case for Israel, and was even considered to represent Israel in the International Court of Justice. Epstein had multiple meetings with former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak in his New York apartment. Epstein and Barak were business partners in a tech company staffed entirely by ex-Israeli intelligence operatives. Barak says he was first introduced to Epstein by ex-Israeli Prime Minister Shimon Peres, who also gave the eulogy at Robert Maxwell's funeral. Wexner's foundation paid Barak $2 million in 2004 for undisclosed research. The pattern is undeniable. Epstein's blackmail operation was an Israeli intelligence asset backed by powerful Zionist figures with deep ties to the Israeli government. Alan Dershowitz says Jeffrey Epstein did not work for the CIA, Mossad, or any other covert organization. He also claims to have no knowledge of how he made his fortune. How Epstein made his fortune. You want to see it? There it is.
No, he was not a member of any intelligence agencies. I'm quite sure of that. And he was not a hedge fund guy. In fact, once you never want to tell humorous stories about Jeffrey Epstein, but he once said to me he wanted to sue a newspaper for defamation. And I said, why did they call you a pedophile? He said, no, they called me a hedge fund guy. He was very upset at being called a hedge fund guy. I don't know what his financial business was, but I can be relatively certain he was not an asset for the Mossad.
How many billionaires do you know you don't know how they made their $1 billion?
Just ask why, Alan Dershowitz, can I just ask why you're so certain about this? Because it does seem to have been an intelligence gathering operation of some kind, or a compromat situation, or a blackmail situation, something like that, surely.
It's possible, but I never saw any evidence of that. He was a guy from Brooklyn, grew up in Coney Island. He was very curious. He wasn't as smart as he thought he was. He didn't know as much about science as he thought he did. But I can tell you that people like Steven Pinker and people like Stephen Gould and people like the president of Harvard thought he asked good questions during the seminars that we all attended. Those seminars, I never attended a seminar after I represented him. My relationship did terminate. I continued to take his phone calls after that. Look, I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. He was very, very, I didn't even want to meet him initially. Look, I want everything out. I want all the theories out there, all the documents. Let the public decide. There are people who don't want things. They have things to hide. But people like me who have nothing to hide, who are not in any way.
But people like me who have nothing to hide? How do you say you have something to hide without directly saying you have something to hide? Anyway, so here I played this for you. Here's another Mossad agent talking to Tim Dillon.
They had an operation that was based on entrapping, blackmailing, gaining leverage over very powerful politicians.
So do you think there was an intelligence connection to all of this?
Mossad. It was absolutely a Mossad. Do you think I'm wrong about anything I've said?
Well, I'm uncomfortable with the intelligent connection.
Why? So there's a book about Ghislaine's father called Israel Super Spy.
Yeah, so the father is definitely shady.
Okay, so the father's in the Mossad.
No, I don't know about the Mossad thing.
You don't know about that?
The question is, what is the depth of the connection?
Well, there's a book about it. I mean, I have
a lot of books about a lot of stuff to show.
Well, but written.
So that is, I can't believe I used the video that has the music on it, but that guy is shady, to say the least. And he comes from MIT, right? Didn't he teach at MIT or something? He has an MIT connection, which is infiltrated by the CIA. So that guy's an asset. There's no doubt in my mind that that guy's an asset. Allegedly. Okay, so there you go. Everybody was waiting for the big reveal, and you're getting less information than what was already. If they wanted to reveal it, they would just put it up on the Department of Justice website. That's how you do it. And they're not going to do it because of Israel, because Israel controls them. There isn't a person in that administration who hasn't bent the knee to Benjamin Netanyahu and sucked his... There isn't a person. Okay, so, they're not being transparent like you thought they were going to. So, now we know that all politicians lie, including Pam Bondi, including Donald Trump, J.D. Vance. We know they're lying. They're not going to reveal that stuff. But they say they're going to reveal something tomorrow. Did you hear that? Is it going to be the magic marker that you use to black out all that stuff? What are you going to reveal? All that stuff, anyway. Okay. Sorry. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.